Hello there and a warm welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, service chiefs and other security agencies to review Lafia Dole Theatre Command operations. The United Nations condemns the killing of aid workers in a Borno IDP camp. And the Anambra State government signs 1.6 billion naira contract for erosion control project. Thanks again for joining us. We begin in the northeastern region of the country. The United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Cullen, has condemned the killing of 3 aid workers by Boko Haram insurgents in Ran town of Borno State. The attack, which took place last night, seemed to target a military facility near the town. 3 aid workers were also injured in that attack, while a female nurse is feared to have been kidnapped. In a statement, Mr. Cullen says, quote, aid workers put their lives on the line every single day to provide emergency assistance to vulnerable women, children, and men. Our deepest condolences go to the families of the victims and our brave colleagues, and we call on authorities to ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice and account. End of quote. Last September, Boko Haram fighters killed 9 people from the Ran internally displaced persons camp as they worked on farms just outside the town. Meanwhile, a female suicide bomber has injured 3 persons as she blew herself up at a mosque in the Fuletari area of Buniyadi, Gujba local government area of Yobe State. The attack is coming barely 2 weeks after the abduction of 110 girls from Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, by suspected Boko Haram insurgents. A military source who confirmed the attack said it happened around 5:30 a.m. and when the Muslim faithful were gathered to observe the morning prayer. The suicide bomber is said to have died instantly, while the man who tried to block her from entering the mosque sustained injuries. Staying with these security stories, Nigeria's top chiefs in security have resolved to review the strategy of Operation Lafia Dole, the joint military force set up to rout Boko Haram from Nigeria's northeast region. This was the outcome of a meeting between the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishoki, and service chiefs in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The meeting, which was also attended by the Director General of the Department of State Security, was held after an on-the-spot assessment of Dapchi town in Yobe State, as efforts continue to rescue the abducted schoolgirls. Now, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General John Agim, who briefed journalists after that meeting, said the service chiefs are in agreement that operational information about the rescue mission would not be revealed.
Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Gabriel Olanishaki, with the service chiefs, talking about the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, and the Director General, Department of State Service, came into the Theatre Command to review the ongoing operations, particularly the operation to get back the Dapchi schoolgirls. The Chief of Defense Service is soliciting for the cooperation of the media and all stakeholders in these ongoing operations. And to this end, is asking for maturity in handling media so that we don't speculate.
And now joining us to shed more light, to give us another perspective on the security happenings in the Northeast, is a security analyst, Don Okereke. You're welcome to News Across Nigeria.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Macaulay.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Firstly, what do you make of all the efforts of the security agencies, especially the army, to nip this crisis in the bud?
Well, as long as it... can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, as long as the girls have not been found, I think they still have to do more. Nigerians are disappointed with the finger pointing and the buck passing that is going on between the military authorities and the police authorities. So we want them to synergize and go all out and rescue these girls. Personally, I believe they are not in Planet Mars. I also believe they are not, they are not in Planet Mars. So I think it's doable that they can be rescued if they go all out and make some effort.
Don, one of the great mysteries concerning this abduction is how this number of girls could have been kidnapped in broad daylight with that great number of vehicles used in taking them out of their school without no one knowing of its happening. What do you, as a security analyst, what do you see of the kidnap itself, how it was executed? What do you think of how it was executed?
Yes, it is mind-boggling that this happened, That means we didn't learn lessons from the kidnap of the Chibok girls. This is like a deja vu again. I think it boils down to failure of intelligence. Our intelligence agencies, with all due respect, they failed us. Because for this attack to be carried out, they must have gathered together, they must have got their logistics together, they must have probably done some surveillance. And they came in, kidnapped these girls, abducted them. They literally have a free reign. They had a free reign. Nobody confronted them, nobody intercepted them. They came. 200 and something people and shared into thin air. I mean, it's embarrassing, so to say the least.
We have to keep stressing that these girls are 110 girls in number. But what do you think of the synergy between the police as well as the army and the intelligence agencies involved in keeping the security in Yobe State?
Well, like I said earlier, the whole thing smells of failure of intelligence, and there seems to be no synergy between the police and the military authorities. That's why they've been indulging in blame games. This person said, "Oh, we are no longer in charge" when it happened, and the other party said, "No, we are still in charge," and all that. So there is a disconnect somewhere. It's quite obvious that there is a disconnect.
How surprised were you, Don, that this incident occurred, and what posture do you think the agencies should take now to recover, to rescue these girls and prevent a recurrence?
Well, I am not surprised that it happened. I've been warning, about Nigerian government, doing cutting deals with Boko Haram. So I'm not surprised that it happened. It was just waiting to happen. And now it has happened. We started running helter-skelter. We tend to be more reactive than proactive. Now that it has happened, everybody is blaming everybody and nobody is taking responsibility.
Okay, and now going forward, we know that the strategy for Operation Lafia Dole is being reviewed. They're thinking of how to make things better as far as this is concerned. If you could speak to the leaders of these security agencies, and what would you say with your experience?
Well, each time we hear such things, what they literally do, is to, like, recently I learned the IG of police was asked to redeploy to Yobe State, and I'm wondering what his relocation will do. Not that, okay, fine, it may just boost the morale of the police on ground and all that, but, more often than not, these guys will just be in an air-conditioned office with all due respect, and nothing much will be done. So when you hear the operation is being reviewed, probably they will change the head of the Operation Lafia Dole. I think they did last year. They brought in General Rogers, and Rogers replaced Atahiru. How about the foot soldiers? How about the guys gathering intelligence in the field? Do they go to that extent to make sure that we have a watertight intelligence network that can pick up intelligence? Because, if you do all of these things, you just change the head and the body is bad, definitely we'll come back to square one again.
And we certainly acknowledge that our hope is that these girls are rescued sooner rather than later. Thank you, Don Okereke, a security analyst, speaking with us on the abduction of the Dapchi schoolgirls. You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, in Kwara and Ekiti states, a boundary dispute and what the governor and monarchs are doing to resolve it. Stay with us.